An infectious disease is a transmissible infection caused by a pathogenic organism that uses a human, animal, or plant as a host. Infectious diseases are passed on from host to host by bites from insects or animal vectors, contaminated food or water, or any number of exposures within the host's environment. Infectious diseases and the agents that cause them are particularly sensitive to climate change and global warming. Global warming is the gradual warming of the planet over time. Periods of higher than average temperature can exacerbate many infectious disease dynamics, including transmission, life cycle, geographical distribution, abundance patterns, and rate of incidence. Anthropogenic effects such as carbon dioxide release, deforestation, agricultural practices, and industrial processes act to intensify the effect of climate change on infectious diseases. The relationship between climate change and infectious diseases is complicated because there are many biological, environmental, and social factors involved. It is important to understand this relationship in a global context because human health is a global problem. Disease is linked to urbanization, poverty, and poor sanitation all over the world. The spread of infectious disease is called transmission. There are three main avenues of transmission: vector, air, and water. Ecological disturbances due to climate change, such as increased weather-related events, can cause a shift in host-vector relationships or change the habitat of the vector. This results in a greater likelihood of the pathogen coming in contact with a human. Climate-sensitive diseases usually have distinct seasonal patterns and are very susceptible to changes. Diseases such as malaria, dengue fever, and valley fever increase during rainy seasons. Over 30% of the world currently lives in the region susceptible to dengue. With an estimated increase in temperature and precipitation, the estimated population at risk for dengue fever will increase to 60% by 2085. Since 1973, there have been over 29 new pathogens. The new diseases are suspected to be a result of global warming, causing a loss of polar and boreal climates, and an overall increase in arid climates. There has also been an increase in global connectivity of the human population. New trade routes, new roads, and enhanced transportation technology, like airplanes, have all contributed to the frequency and magnitude of disease outbreaks. They facilitate the spread of vectors, invasive species, and pathogens to a global scale. Land use changes cause an increase in incidence of disease and modify transmission from host to host. As you can see, climate change and infectious disease dynamics are inexplicably linked. Global warming changes transmission vectors, biogeographical ranges, and seasonality patterns of infectious diseases. Anthropogenic and land use changes increase the number of people at risk for disease, facilitate new disease outbreaks, and increase the number of new diseases introduced. However, there are possible solutions. The first solution is education of the public. The second solution is research. The third solution is support of citizen science, which allows the general public to play a role in identifying and reporting new diseases.